We are live. Let's freaking go. I got a great show tonight. Great show. We got a big show for you tonight. Very big show. I'm excited, guys. I'm excited. The beef is cooking and I am here for it. Steve will do it, who is, I met him in person. We're going to get into all that. He is calling out. He's absolutely crashing out. He crashed out on Instagram over Kyle from Nelk. He's calling him out to a fight. Adin Ross is getting involved. They're talking about potentially having them fight at BrankRisk MMA, the next event. As much as a shit show as people were saying the BrankRisk event was at the UFC Apex, they're doing another one, and they're talking about Steve Will Do It versus Kyle from Nelk as the headliner. We're going to get into all of that, guys. We will get in. Listen, I'm your host. My name is King David MMA. I'm a professional MMA champion, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I coach and I train at Extreme Couture, home of the best fighters on the planet. It's the best gym in the world, guys. And also, I was at BrankRisk, so I got some insider information for you guys. There's a lot going on, and we're going to break it down right now. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video. Apparently, it helps the algo, guys. The algo likes. Also, make sure you got notifications on. You just bang the bell. It feels good when you do it. And then you know when I go live, because I go live at random hours, but I go live every freaking day. Also, guys, make sure you check out Fight Circus, home of the freak show fights. Fight Circus on Instagram. This is the Felony Charles Bennett edition. The Fight Circus with Felonies Cash App right here. These are all Felonies mugshots. And this shirt is banned from BKFC. This is banned from Knucklemania and bare knuckle fighting. They did not want Felony. They didn't want me walking out with it. They didn't want Doc Octagon walking out with it. This shirt is banned, guys. Also, you know what I mean? While we're on the shirt topic, I got a front-facing camera, so this is backwards. The way you guys are saying it says real one on it. It actually says it. I know it's appearing backwards. You know, we're going to get the whole studio set up, guys. But for right now, make sure you hop in the chat because I'm dropping the real one shirts in the chat right now. I'm gonna drop them in, and then I'm gonna pin it, and then we're gonna get right into all the freaking drama. Listen, guys. I'm not saying this is the right thing to do. I'm just saying I'm here for it. I'm into it. I like the beef. I like the drama. I feel like these guys should fight. Okay, I pinned the message. And make sure you check out Studio Millions. Studio Millions will pack your coach's gym full of students who stay, pay, and refer. Your coach will love you for it. All you got to do is tell them, just go to Studio Millions and sign up, man. It's free, man. You can hop on and you get all kinds of shit for free on there. And next thing you know, their gym is packed with students and they will love you for it. You're going to have great training partners. Anyways, guys, let me check the chat and we're going to do this. Oh, real ones on the live. Let's go, Arpon. My money on Steve Will Do It. Hey, that's a good bet. Shout out to Felony. Yeah, man, where's Felony been? He is not. Felony is the moderator of the chat. We haven't seen Felony in a second. You know what, man? I'm going to tap in with Felony when I get off of here, and I'm going to see how he's doing, man. Exclusive shirt right there. 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. All right. So anyway, let's get right into it. Bro, he made himself mod. So, guys, Felony was living here for 2 of his last 3 fights. He performed very well in those fights. Arpin says, make him the mod. Bro, I don't know how to do the mod. We will figure that out, bro. I will make you the mod, bro. You could be the mod, okay? I don't know how to do it, but we can do it. Also, it's called Caffeine in Combat, guys. This is from Whole Foods. They don't sponsor me. But, dude, I know, guys. This has caramel coloring in it. And you're not supposed to drink it. But I drink it. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. I'm saying I have my vices. This is so fucking good to me. I love these. I put these in the freezer. Shout out to Cameron Williamson. He just had a kid. Cameron put me on to freezing these joints, man. He started with poppy soda. I said, dude, that's like a slushy. Man, I used to have this little thing. It's a little plastic mold. And you could put your beverage in there and then you could put it in the freezer. I used to do that when I was a kid and it would turn it into a full slushy. It would freeze in the sides of it. Dude, oh my gosh. This just freezing these things brings back memories. John Dong in the chat. John, yo, hit me up on Instagram, King David MMA. DM me, man, and I'm gonna send you something because John was the first person to ever super like on here. He's the honorary super liker. So, guys, if you want a super like or super chat, we got that enabled now. You know what I mean? We went straight from 0 to 500 subscribers real quick, real freaking quick, right? And now we are monetized, guys. So, if you want to hop in the chat and drop a message with a super on it, you could do that. I don't know how any of that shit works. I just know it's dope when you do it, and I appreciate you for it. John, you know what I'm gonna do, bro? You know what I'm gonna do, bro? You know what I'm saying? Listen, bro. You dropped $1 on a super like. I'm sending you the Fight Circus Felony Charles Bennett edition. You can't get this anywhere. That's what happens when you super like and super chat. You just get shit sometimes. But you know what I mean? I'm just fucking. Let's go, bro. Let's fucking do it. All right. Anyways, guys, let's get into it. Steve will do it. Crash the fuck out on Kyle from Nelk, man. He went absolutely bananas. If you guys did not see his story on Instagram, he went in. He went fucking, bro. He was saying that Kyle's botting. He's saying Kyle doesn't deliver value. He's saying Kyle bait and switches, allegedly, meaning, hey, we're going to get this many views on a video, pay us X amount of dollars, and then Kyle goes and buys views. I don't believe any of that to be true, but that's what Steve is accusing Kyle of. The question that comes into play when we're talking about legal shit is how much of this allegation type content will Kyle let Steve put out on the internet before Kyle decides that he's going to hit him with the cease and desist and potentially defamation case, right? So before we get into all that, they're talking about fighting. Steve will do it, challenged him to a fight, and Adin Ross hopped on board. Adin Ross has reached out to both Steve to confirm that he wants to fight and to Kyle. He said Steve is in on the fight. He says Kyle is not hitting back. I don't believe Kyle's going to take the fight. Now, seeing them on stream, I thought Steve would be way bigger in person than Kyle would be. And I haven't met Kyle, but I just assumed he wasn't like the biggest dude. You know what I mean? I saw Steiny in person. Steiny is not a large gentleman. Steve's kind of like, Steve's mogging. You know what I mean? Steve is mogging. The internet was telling me Steve's 5'9". He had more of like a 6-foot energy. Like there's something about presence when you're around people. I wouldn't have guessed he was 5'9" if you told me that. But like I didn't size the fucking dude up like, oh, how tall is this guy? But yeah, when I met Steve, it was suns out, guns out. Dude had a shirtless thing on. He had shoulder caps. Dude was looking, he was mogging, guys. He was looking like he lifts weights. He was looking like he works out. I don't know how much he trains or not. I don't know how much Kyle fucking trains. But guess what? We don't need him to train. We just need him to fight. And I know everybody wants to talk about the MMA purity and we should only have the best guys fighting the best guys in the UFC. This isn't the UFC. This is BrankRisk. It's a fucking shit show. Listen, I get it that all the fucking cameras on oneself is a little overwhelming. Sean Strickland stormed out. He couldn't take the fucking freak showness of it all. He couldn't take the narcissism of it all. He couldn't take all the streamers streaming the other streamers who are streaming themselves, streaming, right? Like it was pretty wild. And when I say that, I'm saying it like in a funny manner, but that's what it really literally was. Like I got clip farmed several times. Couple of the times I knew I was on camera. One of the times I was playing it up for the camera. Another time I didn't even realize I was on camera. There's literally 2 clips going around where I literally, like I'm at one of the clips, I'm whispering to somebody and they're fucking recording me. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to have a private conversation so none of these cameras that are around and the dude I'm whispering to is secretly recording me and clip farming me. You know what I mean? Like, and we're talking business. We're not talking like, oh, hey, fucking, you should fucking put your dick in the mashed potatoes on the next stream or whatever. None of that. We were talking business, like, hey, so-and-so made so-and-so an offer. We think da-da-da-da-da. What about this? Blah, 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 blah. Can you talk to this person on my behalf? Like, business related private conversation, but nothing's private at fucking BrankRisk. It's unlike anything you've ever been to. It was one of the craziest experiences I've ever, because you don't know, it's like this bizarre world where nothing is what it seems. Like nothing is fucking genuine. I believe Steve Will Do It has a genuine beef with Kyle, and we're going to get into why I believe that. Some things that have been said about the business side of things between those two. And you could definitely see Steve has a point because Steve goes ultra viral. And if anything Steve is saying is true, that Steve is the viral one out of the group, and the other guys were kind of piggybacking on off his virality, which I will tell you, out of all the influencers I met 6ix9ine, I met Neon, Bradley Martin, Larry Wheels. I met Hey Big Mike from the Logan Paul Impulsive Show and Logan Paul's vlogs, among everybody else, right? Everybody that was in BrankRisk. Steve comes off as the absolute most genuine. He has the most genuine energy. Like it's ultra authentic. I don't have any reason to believe it's anything other than real. He seems like the same dude you see on YouTube. That's who he is in person. It's super genuine, super authentic, and I believe a dude like that wears his heart on his sleeve. So when he's fucking crashing out, he's not doing it for the gram. He's probably a little tipsy or something, right? He's been out late at night, probably been trying to deal with the nerves from gambling millions of dollars on sports betting, and probably knocked a couple of them back, right? And now he's kind of feeling his feels, and now he's going to go in on Kyle, and essentially, to make a fucking long story short, Steve's contention is ultra viral, and he's the one that brings the value to the Nelk brand and to Happy Dad. Kyle's contention is like, hey, we operate a business, right? We like structure. We have a structure in place. This is what the business deal is. Steve may feel slighted that he's not getting as big as percentage as, let's say, the founders are, but that's not the. Listen, man, we're doing all this shit. We're dealing with suppliers, manufacturers, budgets, fucking taxes, insurance, employees, HR. They got a lot of shit they're dealing with. Now, Steve might be the most charismatic motherfucker, right? But in their eyes, like, that's dope. We'll give you a percentage for that. But in terms of actual business, we're running the fucking business. That's what it seems like to me. The beef is over, right? And now Adin Ross says that Steve is willing to fight, but Kyle, and I don't think Kyle will fight him, which I don't even need Kyle to fight him. I would love for Kyle to fight him. And that's not, like, I'm a fan of both of these dudes' YouTubes, right? Like, I think Kyle's doing funny stunts. Like, I fuck with a lot of the stunts that I've seen them do. I fuck with the pod. I fuck with the way that he does his ad reads when he's talking about boys firing on sports. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the way I like his vibe, the way he delivers it on camera. And fucking Steve's got awesome. He's doing fucking gambling content. He's doing giveaways. He's doing crazy shit. I fucking love that, right? So I can love these guys' content. I can be a fan of them, and I can still want them to scrap. Why? Because that's the way we settle things. You know what I mean? They got big beef. They should get in there and fucking throw them things at each other, right? And oftentimes, as you saw with Sean Strickland and Hamzat, getting into a fucking fist fight can solve a lot of problems, guys. Let me check the chat real quick. John Don says, hey, you don't need to send me anything. Bro, I'm trying to send it to you. If you don't want it, man, okay, fuck you do, man. I'm just trying to fucking, you hook me up, I'm gonna hook you up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Pause. Not like that. But Arpon the Don says, the camera eye is friends with Steve Will Do It. Yeah, man. They, listen, no telling what might happen. Yeah, fucking Steve Will Do It might be in Cam's next movie. If the camera is friends with Steve Will Do It, then he must be genuine. Yeah, man. Yeah, it was interesting because some people, when they're on camera, are different than they are off camera, and they have a totally different vibe or energy. But Steve had a fucking and I don't want to get too deep into it, but we were betting we were betting on the main event whether Bob Menery would puke or would only dry heave. And myself and Doc Ock, Dr. Octagon was betting that he would puke. Steve said that he's going to dry heave. Steve's reasoning for dry heaving was that he's been up all night and he has not been eating, right? So he has been on, I don't know what you can actually say, right? Because there was a commission involved, but the commission didn't drug test. And I guess Dana White on the stream admitted that the commission isn't drug testing. So I would imagine that it's pretty common that allegedly the speculation would be that the dude's just fucking popping Adderalls, chewing them up or whatever, and fucking going all night. And he is Adderall out of his mind and not eating food. So that may be, I don't know this to be true or not, but that may be why Steve Will Do It thought he was only going to dry heave. We thought he was going to puke. I just assumed the dude had been drinking too, right? Like, why not? But maybe he wasn't. So, anyways, that was the bet. And it was pretty chill. Steve seemed sober, chill, cool as fuck, right? And then Kyle, I did not see Kyle up there. So I would like to see them scrap. I'd like that to be the headliner. And then they're also talking about potentially having Larry Wheels fight. So Larry Wheels, before we get into Larry Wheels, I don't know if this is recent. I'm assuming it's not recent. I'm assuming it came up in my feed because we discussed Clavicular's take on here last night about Clav took a fucking L, a big L. He took a big L. He said fighting is low IQ. He said fighting is there's no point. It's pointless. L for Clav, rare Clav L. Okay. But I did, so now you know the algorithm got involved and it starts feeding me Clav clips. One of the reels I saw on Instagram was Jake Paul holding for Clavicular. And Clavicular was throwing a jab and he was kind of leaning, right? Leaning over his lead foot. Jake corrected him and was like, you kind of want to like almost like sit into it a little bit, pop with your jab, right? And kind of getting his body distribution of weight correct. And then Jake's like, dude, you got power. So Clavicular from Jake Paul has power in his jab, guys. I don't think we're going to see Clavicular fight either, but at least he's hitting fucking mitts, right? Maybe. And I'm a big encourager of fighting, right? So I'm not like just only into the beef. I feel that it's like good for people to be into like at least one fight as a man. You got to get to a fight at some point, right? Like you got to know, and like especially if you train for it and have that like goal in mind, and you actually dedicate yourself to it, because there's a lot of people that will do it. Like let's say as an example of this BrankRisk card, Bob Menery. He fought, but he didn't really train for it, right? So he's got an out. He doesn't have to put anything on the line. Oh, I lost. The guy was bigger than me, and I didn't train, and I was, popping whatever and fucking high in the whatever he is, right? But that's like taking all the responsibility off yourself. But when you actually commit and you train hard and you put the responsibility on yourself, and now you have to deal with that as a man, that responsibility, that like, oh shit, I did give my effort to this. I was dedicated. I don't have any excuses. And now I have to go perform up to the level which I have promoted myself as being able to live up to, right? So before this fight with Ignite Fights, I told every single person that I could see at the gym, I posted on Instagram, everywhere, that I was bringing the belt home to Extreme Couture. All my coaches, all my training partners, my teammates, students, anyone within the fucking vicinity of my voice would hear over and over and over again, I'm bringing the belt back. I'm bringing the belt back. I'm bringing the belt back to Extreme Couture. So I went out there. I made a space in my bed for the belt. Camera cornered me. And he's like, what are you doing? You like unmaking half your bed? I'm like, yeah, that's for the belt, bro. And he's like, really? And I'm like, dude, I'm making space for the belt because I'm bringing the belt back to Vegas. The belt will go here. I've like, and everything was like bringing the belt back, right? But here's the part. I didn't get the belt because of, let's say, law of attraction attracted me the belt. I put the pressure on myself that I have to bring the belt back now. Therefore, my training needs to be in alignment with what I've told everyone I'm going to do. And that additional responsibility, that additional discipline that I have to have in order to guarantee my results That's what I'm talking about when I'm saying these guys should fight. They should actually sign up to fight, actually train, and actually put their fucking heart into it so that they have that feeling of like, oh shit, I've got this thing to live up to. And that pressure on them will solidify them. It will like crystallize their character as a man. So, anyways, I would love to see it. And plus, man, I'm here for the shit talk, the shit show, the beef, right? So we can have both. We can hold two conflicting viewpoints in our heads at the same time. One, this is amazing, inspirational. It's solidifying them as human beings and helping them achieve levels of introspective knowledge that they would have never understood otherwise. And two, man, it's a shit show, man. These motherfuckers are gonna like we can have both. We can have beef and we can have life lessons. We can have fucking drama and shit talk, and we can have the fucking inspiration of fucking dude, that guy. Maybe Steve will get off the shit that he's on or whatever, right? Like maybe that's what maybe it could be a good thing. You know, maybe they'll hash it out, right? Like maybe we'll have, and at the same time, it could be entertaining bullshit. Like they don't have to be mutually exclusive, guys. So, anyways, speaking of crazy shit, Larry Wheels is about to fight, or allegedly. They're saying that he might be on the card. Larry Wheels pulled up to Extreme Couture and he got balled up by my teammate Kobe the Don, who fights currently at 135 pounds. And there's a viral reel of Kobe versus Marab wrestling at Extreme Couture, which is interesting if you can find that. And then there is Kobe versus Larry Wheels, and Larry Wheels must have, I don't know, 140, 150 pounds on Kobe. But he was up there because of Marab, because he said, man, Marab couldn't ball me up. Then Cutman Tate was like, dude, I'll take you to a gym right now and we'll see. Took him to the gym. Larry Wheels got balled up. Then my other teammate, Justin James, who is co-host of the 10-7 podcast, where I said that I guarantee Strickland will win. I know for a fact he's going to bounce his balls off Hamzat's head. That prediction. That's the 10-7 podcast. Justin James hosts that, and he Justin James coaches at Extreme Couture, and then he fights at like 145. He picked Larry Wheels' big ass up, spun him around, and then fucking put him down and head and arm choked him. Now, this has led Larry Wheels to contemplate training. Larry Wheels has started training with Philly Fresh of UFC fame, and I hope Larry does it. Because the same thing that he got him dedicated to bodybuilding, if he applies himself, he could get good he could get good enough at fighting quickly. Now the question is, who should Larry Wheels fight? A big ass fat dude in his weight class, another bodybuilder versus bodybuilder, or should he fight Bradley Martin, the originator of big guy versus small guy? What would happen streaming, right? Because Bradley Martin is he's the first one to really make it popular. The big guy thinks he can beat the small guy, and they're going to fucking challenge match. And the small guy might be trained more, but the big guy is big and fucking strong. Bradley Martin is the innovator in a lot of ways of that concept. At least the popularization of it, right? Like he's who made it super popular in recent memory. Maybe we're going to have Bradley Martin versus Larry Wheels, you know? And the other thing that's crazy about BrankRisk, this is some inside shit, guys. Okay. Allegedly, and I don't know this to be true. Okay, guys, just you got to read between the lines of what I'm saying because this is involving legal documents. So allegedly, these dudes got paid to fight, but allegedly, some people on the card got amateur contracts. So they thought they were getting into amateur fights, and they were told that they were having an amateur rule set, but now they're on Tapology as professionals, and it was a professional fight because they got paid. So maybe there was some miscommunication between management of the fighter and what the fighter thought they signed, because oftentimes the fighters do not actually read what they sign. They just sign it. They just look at the price. Oh, I'm getting paid X. Okay, cool. Boom. Sign it. Now, the other issue is that a lot of these managers in MMA are dudes, right? They're just fucking dudes. They're not like lawyers. They don't have degrees in sports management. They don't have any legal expertise to actually go over like a line item fucking understanding of a contract. Right. So then it's like, how legal are these contracts actually? So these dudes went out there and they were fighting, and several of them were fighting under the belief that there were no elbows because it was amateur, but they were getting paid and they were listed as professionals. Right. So there's some miscommunication going on. So call me a fucking maniac. I would like to see them be allowed to elbow each other, right? Like, why not, guys? If we're already fucking letting them kick each other in the head with shins, and they're getting paid as professionals, and they're getting millions of eyeballs as big fucking streaming professionals, let them elbow each other in the face. And the other day I was teaching Extreme Couture and we were talking about elbows because the amateur guys, like the dude, it's so cool. There's like little dudes on the team that are like, between 15 and 17, and they've never fought pro. There's only like two people on the planet that ever fought pro at that age. Like Raul Rosas Jr. fought on Contender Series, but uh, they're not allowed to throw elbows, so they've never like actually hit anybody with an elbow. So they're asking me questions about elbows, and when I won the belt, actually, right before I went out to Minnesota to fight, Johnny Parsons, who knocked out Hot Chocolate, in UFC England. He got knocked out on the night. He talked to me and he was like, "Bro," he's like, "You got a really good tie clinch." He's like, "When you're throwing those knees, remember, bro, if he goes a cross block so that you can't knee him, fucking elbow. You know what I mean?" So oddly enough, I'm in the fight. I have tie clinch. I go to fucking knee this dude, and I'm like, I'm gonna break his fucking ribs and just crush his fucking solar plex in his liver, and he cross blocks. And in my head, I go, dude, how, like, it's a second, the thought happens in less than a second, but it was like this whole sentence in like instant. Like, how crazy is this that Johnny just talked to me about this and I'm gonna fucking go for it in the fight? I wonder if this is gonna land. So I go to knee, and this is all happening instantaneously, right? I'm explaining it, so it's taking multiple seconds, but this was all in like half of a second. Go to knee, and then he cross blocks, and then I'm like, right? Fucking cut his shit. You know what I mean? Oh, bro. Yeah. And then later, they were asking me how to land on the liver. And I'm like, guys, in that fight, I actually kicked the dude in the liver as well. And then he went like that. And he started like holding his body and like kind of fading away. I ran up on him, fucking flying knee. And the dude double legged me off my flying knee. And I was like, oh, this pussy. And like after the fight, obviously, that dude's a fucking G. I cut him open. I choked him unconscious. He wasn't like trying to tap. He was not in the quick tap club. I hit that dude with solid fucking knees in the face. He was a G. But in the fight, in my head, I'm like, this fucking pussy's trying to wrestle. Fuck you, bro. I'm gonna crush your skull with elbows, right? So that's what I was thinking in that fight. And yeah, so I find an interesting balance between keeping the youth motivated without like encouraging them to be ultra violent, if that makes any sense. Like, the story I just told to a normal person on the street sounds insane, but at the same time, I'm preparing these young men to fight, right? So they're coming to civilian MMA class, all levels or whatever, and they're on the amateur team, some of them, and they got questions, and we as coaches are giving them answers, and then it's like, how diluted or how potent or how strong of an answer are we supposed to give these young men? Because really, like, that's what I was thinking in the fight, but do I tell that to them, or do I just like show them the technique? You know what I'm saying? Without the mindset behind it. But one thing I have been thinking about a lot lately is the concept of wanting things. So a lot of the students on the team say they want this or that. And it's really crazy because you can get whatever the fuck you want, right? Like, you can get a black belt, you can be a pro MMA champion. I'm a fucking dude. You know what I'm saying? I used to be a 242-pound fat, destitute loser living at my friend's mom's house in the back house. Me and my boy lived back there. There was no air conditioning, and I shared the couch in the back house with his pit bull Penelope in the Las Vegas summer. It was 110, 115 degrees most days, and I shared that itchy, dog-haired covered couch. And I was like, dude, I want to do some shit, right? But like, what does wanting it mean? You get what I'm saying? It means like showing up. It means prioritizing it. And if you don't do that, then don't be upset when you don't get it. Right. And then there's like, and I'm not speaking to you personally. I'm saying in like the collective you, right? Like it's very peaceful to have the understanding that you can get whatever you want and that because you don't have it, you chose not to get it. Right? Whatever that belief is, like let's say it's, $1 million. Well, there's things that one could do to go get $1 million. Like you could go be a kick streamer and go do stunts and go get arrested every night until you were a millionaire on kick. Like you could do that, right? But you don't want to do that. So then it's a choice not to have the revenue from kick like that, right? You get what I'm saying, right? So like, do I want to have fingers that don't lift because like this finger doesn't go up any higher? This is my other finger. Like this fist won't close. Injuries, all that, right? Like I wanted a belt. You get what I'm saying? And so somebody else that may not want to risk injury or be at the gym all the time, always be sore. Like always. I'm always sore. Always. Always. Like there's no like, oh, I woke up today and I didn't think about how sore I am. It's like you wake up and you're like, fuck. And then you get the fuck up and you go to the gym anyway. Right. So it's okay to not want that. But then what's even cooler, and this is like the anti-motivational speech, right? Like I'm supposed to go, no, you can go get what you want. I'm like, dude, release it. If you actually don't want it, then it's like a freeing feeling to go like, dude, I could get that. I just don't fucking want it. I don't want all the bullshit that comes along with it. Like you get what I'm saying? For a lot of people, it's cool to be a purple belt. But like to keep showing up, get your neck fucking like twisted and cracked on and be putting fucking guard and stacked on your fucking neck until you're a black belt. Like it's dude, just release it, right? So like this message, I don't want to say it's anti-motivation, but it's like pro freedom, pro release, pro like feeling content, like accepting, like in charge, like it's your choice. And like how fucking cool is that? So the other thing that I do, and this is exactly related, when I'm dieting and I go to this, like, let's say I'm at Whole Foods, right? I'm a little bit bougie. Okay, guys, I only want to buy organic products. I'm one of those fucking, I go sit in the grass, whatever, right? My girlfriend and I like go meditate, talk about philosophy and all that. All that, right? So I go to Whole Foods and instead of getting the fucking chocolate chip cookie dough, organic fucking honeycomb peanut butter ice cream, I don't say I can't have that. I can have it. I'm just choosing not to because I want abs and I want to make weight for my fight, right? But I could have it. So it's like this freedom. It's like a very, for at least, take it if you want it, use it, don't use it. Honest, do whatever the fuck you want to do with your life. I'm just saying for me, knowing that like what I like, could I have some high production video in this right now? I could have that. I could go out and I could do Mr. Beast style crazy videos, right? I don't want to sit there and plan out and fucking record and have a team and fucking 9 editors and 3 producers. None of that, right? What I like doing is going live. So I go live. You get what I'm saying? So, but it's freeing to not like want the other. You get like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I can have the ice cream. I want the abs. And if I decide, hey, I want the abs, but I'm gonna eat the ice cream, then I go, hey man, maybe I just don't want the abs. Maybe I want the ice cream. And it's for me, being able to choose and feeling like I'm empowered and I'm in charge and I'm the one dictating my life choices is super fucking cool to me. So, anyways, guys, hope that message lands with at least one person because it really fucking helped me out. So I don't know how we got here because we're talking about Steve will do it and Kyle fighting and fucking influencer fights. But here we are, guys. Let me check the chat real quick. John Hogan, hi everyone. Our upon the Don, yo, John Hogan, what's up? Hey man, Shout out to you guys for interacting in the chat. It makes it way more fun, especially when I see you guys interacting with each other, because now we got a community going. You get what I'm saying? I'm trying to connect. Let's fucking run it up. John Don, wasn't Eddie Hall doing some MMA fights? Maybe we could get Hall versus Wheels. That'd be crazy. That would be crazy. That'd be a crazy freaking fight. I think Larry Wheels would need to train for a considerable amount of time, because I'm pretty sure Eddie Hall has, for that space of like giant dudes who don't really fight like that, I'm pretty sure he's one of the more experienced in terms of at least training, and probably most experienced in fighting as well, like actual fights and actual training. So yeah, maybe we could get Larry Wheels a couple fights and get him up to speed. And then we got Eddie Hall versus Larry Wheels, battle of the big boys, the buff bodybuilding fucking bicep bomber club or something. You know what I mean? The big dudes, big big oiled up gentlemen boxing. You know what I mean? Whatever. What are we gonna call it, guys? We need a name for it. We got Jay Linda. You see the video of Wheels that John Bravo did? Dude, I have not seen that. I have not seen that. John Bravo, dude, if John Bravo did it, I already know, bro. I already know. I heard some crazy things about Larry Wheels. And Larry Wheels was super chill, like when I met him. Larry Wheels, he's like super respectful, surprisingly humble, right? Because some people get the idea that if he's out here challenging fighters and shit, he knows what's up, right? Like when I met him, and I met him after he got balled up, at least after that, I can't speak to before because I didn't meet him before, but he was humble. He was humble and he seems introverted to me. Whereas, like, I see a camera and I'm like, what's up, camera? He seems like, hey, I understand that this is good for my career and I'm going to stream and I would prefer not to, but I think it's good and I'm open to doing stunts and learning things and trying new things, and why not put it on video? He seems more like that. So yeah, but I heard some crazy shit about you know what I mean? And I don't even like to entertain that, right? Like I like to see people in a good light. And maybe I'm too much of a fucking sweet ass, innocent, fucking naive dude. But I always try and like to like, if somebody's saying something about somebody, I don't even really watch it as, then this is gonna sound crazy because I'm doing like fucking drama clickbait videos. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing dramatic clickbait, but like, I don't know if you guys notice this. I typically start with the fucking clickbait thumbnail, and as we progress through the stream, we get vibier and vibier, and we move off that wave into like a wave of like possibility and positivity. You know what I mean? That's just how I like to do it. But and I don't know if you guys notice this too. Oftentimes, the thumbnail will say something fucking controversial, and my take is the positive argument against the dramatic thumbnail. If that, even though I like the drama, I like when two motherfuckers really want to fight and then they fight, dude. Yeah, yeah. You guys got me hyped up right now. I'm about to fucking rage on this fucking live stream. I'm gonna crash. Now there's gonna be a thumbnail. I'm crashing out now. Okay. Jay Linda says, I want to see Nate Diaz versus Bradley Martin. Dude, that might be viable now. After Nate's fight with Mike Perry. So even though Mike Perry's a fucking savage animal and allegedly juiced to the gills, because allegedly they didn't drug test for that fight, I don't know that to be true or not true. And you got to still put in the work, and you got to be a good martial artist. Just some dude on steroids isn't going to just beat up Nate Diaz because he's on juice. So that, not taking anything away from Mike, it's actually adding to Mike. Like, he's a good martial artist, and on top of that, he was mulligan, right? And so based on Nate's performance, even though Nate's a fucking savage, and I believe Nate would absolutely fuck Bradley Martin up. And Bradley Martin was nice to me, and this isn't a character judgment or anything like that. Bradley Martin was super fucking nice to me at BrankRisk. We chopped it up. We were in the back, all that, right? But now we're talking fighting. And unless Bradley Martin has been training for the last several years, he's got no fucking hope against Nate Diaz. But it doesn't matter, because there's a difference between what reality is and what the public feels is viable. And based on Nate getting beat up by fucking Mike Perry in brutal fashion, I believe that if not half, the majority of people, we're talking casual fans who would watch a Nate Diaz versus Bradley Martin influencer style fight, BrankRisk or MVP, no weight limit, whatever the fuck. Special rules, fucking fight circus in Thailand where there's no fucking commission and we can get away with it. You know, Nate Diaz versus Bradley Martin in MMA, I believe this is going to be controversial, guys. A hot take. Nate Diaz would be the underdog in that fight. I believe the betting lines would bet Bradley Martin because the average dude on the street who knows Bradley Martin doesn't understand that he can have a fucking 100 pounds on Nate and it's not going to matter. Especially because the last thing they saw was Nate get beat up by Mike Perry. They're going to assume Bradley Martin's even bigger than Mike Perry, even juicier than Mike Perry, buffer than Mike Perry, and he's going to fucking beat the brakes off Nate Diaz. Now, you and I know. See, we're real ones, right? We're fucking hardcores. We know what's up. Nate Diaz would fucking slap that Stockton, slap that dude. You know, and that's not a knock on Bradley Martin. Bradley Martin hasn't trained his entire life. The dude excelled in what he did. You know, he's awesome in his lane, but now you're coming to Nate's lane. I would absolutely love to see that fight. I would love to see that fight. I know the MMA purists are gonna fucking troll me in the comments. Oh my god, blah, blah, blah. Dude, listen, I'm a subject matter expert. I'm allowed to have fun, guys. I want a pro title. I'm a black belt. It's not like I don't love martial arts. I love the purity of martial arts. I'm on a journey for martial arts mastery. I'm in search of perfection, and because I know perfection can't exist, I'm constantly moving towards the attainment of getting closer and closer to it, and it's a life fucking never ending goal to always become better. I love martial arts, but I also love to see some fucking crazy shit. And Nate Diaz versus Bradley Martin is fucking crazy as fuck. Let's go. You're a podcaster, brother. Interesting. I don't. Am I a podcaster or am I a dude with an iPhone yelling at it? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, yeah, that's what we got going on in the chat. We got Bradley Martin versus Nate Diaz. We got Kyle versus Steve will do it. We got Larry Wheels versus Eddie Hall. Listen, man, we could have been matchmakers. You know what I'm saying? No telling what we might do. Maybe we'll start a Real Ones MMA and I'll get to fucking group chat going on the side and we'll fucking matchmake some motherfucking fights ourselves, guys. Anyways, that's tonight's stream. Make sure you got notifications on because I'm random as fuck with what time I go on. I will see you guys tomorrow. I stream every day. And if you drop a comment after this, I respond to all comments. While the channel still allow me to do that, but it's growing quickly. So no, I don't know how much longer I'll be able to do that. Love you guys. Have a good freaking night. Good show 100. Shout out to Arba. No, that's what Nate said when Brad asked Nate on stream if he thinks he could take him. Yeah, man. Fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis. Let's freaking go, guys. Love you. Peace.